What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Dre in the Kitchen. Today we're going to do a couple things by pickling. What are we going to pickle? So it's summer. I use these all year round. So in this beautiful little jar here are my little pickles that I love to make on a regular basis. And for many of you, here are my pickled red onions. I keep them in these containers because at the rate we use them in this house, I don't even bother putting them in the glass jars. But it's a very versatile recipe that I'm going to show you. It literally has 4 main ingredients, which is water, sugar, salt, and vinegar. But this is how I've been making my pickles for probably the good 10 years. I've shared this recipe on and off with a couple of people, and they love it. So I figured, what the heck, let's go ahead and share it with you guys. So let me show you what ingredients you're going to need to get this started. Now, the full recipe will be on drainthekitchen.com, but follow along. We're going to do a double batch because I'm going to pickle. I have a lot of these little Persian cucumbers. I get them and they're just the perfect little snack. In fact, I even pickle some cauliflower, I'll show you later, using this very same recipe. So in a saucepan, I'm going to double batch the recipe. So it's going to be double. Normally it's 1.5 cups of cold water. I'm doing 3 cups here. We add 1 cup of vinegar. Obviously, we're going to add 2. I simply use distilled white. This is nothing fancy. Now, there's a variety of ways that you can pickle. It doesn't have to be the way I'm doing it. This is just how I kind of like it. It has a really nice balance of sweetness with the acidity of the vinegar. So I want you to try it. I promise you'll like it, hopefully. Then to this, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. So I use Diamond Kosher. It's not as salty. There's Morton's Kosher. I would alter the recipe. If you add the Morton's, it could be saltier. So I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. And then we're going to add 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. So it's simple, just your standard white sugar. So we're going to do 1/2 cup. For one recipe, it's 1/4 cup. So here we go. Just a little more. 1/2 cup. We're going to put this on the stove and bring it up to a boil. What you're looking for is for the sugar and salt to fully dissolve. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on there, and then we'll come back and then we'll start cutting up the vegetables, and I'll show you some of the different aromatics and things that you can add to flavor your pickles. So while our pickling liquid is heating up, I've washed and rinsed these cucumbers. Now I do these probably about every 2 to 3 weeks. I'll show you right now. You're looking, I don't know if you can see that, hold on, there we go. Where's auto? There we are. So you're pretty much cutting it on the bias. I love that because you get more surface area. It actually looks really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just chop all of these. So we'll speed this up. All right, so now that we've cut them up, so I have this beautiful mason jar. It's been sterilized. I did boil it in hot water, made sure everything was nice and clean. So in this jar, while the pickling liquid is still heating up, let's start to add some of these aromatics. So what do I add into mine? So I'm gonna put in 2 bay leaves. These are dried. If you have fresh, that's fine as well. I'll throw 3 in there. I like to put a peppercorn mix. So I always have, and then I have added pink peppercorns. I just like the floral notes that they give. You can add garlic. I'm gonna add 3 cloves. I've just crushed these pretty much with the palm of my hands. In they go. Now you can put dill if you like. I actually don't have any at the moment, but what I do have is fresh thyme. So in goes the fresh thyme. And I'm putting these on the bottom. You can put these on the top. It's entirely up to you. Now let's start layering in all of our pickles, our cucumbers that we have sliced on the bias. Pretty much this is all I do. Make space for it. I did about 8 mini cucumbers. Depending on the size of your vessel, you can decide how many you want. I've done this. Karen loves this recipe. My friend John makes this recipe at home. He's in Indiana. So it's very versatile. You can do whatever you want. So once that pickling liquid comes to the boil, we'll add it in, and I'll show you how you can pretty much finish this, and you can pickle so many things with this simple recipe. So we'll be back in just a second. So our pickling liquid has finally come to the boil. I pulled it off the heat, and to make life a little easier, I put it in here into our beautiful glass measuring cup. So remember, we've already sliced our pickles, we've added our aromatics. Now, what I wanted to say is I have made this recipe using a sugar substitute allulose. I've also made it with the Lakanto white granular sugar. So those are for my keto low carb friends. You can alter this recipe and make it keto friendly or low carb friendly. But as long as you have your water, your vinegar, your kosher salt, your sugar substitute for that little bit of sweetness can be a sugar substitute. Not all of them work the same. I have used allulose and the Lakanto, but those are the only two that I've used. So I know that it actually comes out good. So now that this is completely hot, you want it very, very hot. Pour it into your jar, covering your pickles, and that's it. So we're gonna set this to the side, let it come completely to room temperature before you seal it. You do not wanna seal this while it is hot. No bueno, that's a big no-no. Just let it come to room temperature, it'll take a while. So I'm gonna move this to the side. Now if you're doing pickled red onions using the same liquid, what I've done is in these little containers, of course these containers are everywhere. I buy these on Amazon. Slice your red onions, put them in. If you want to flavor your red onions, in here I have a bay leaf, some peppercorns, and thyme. If not, you can just leave it alone with the pickling liquid. Again, pour your pickling liquid in, let it come to room temperature before you close it, and put it in your refrigerator. Now these pickles have lasted me, actually let me pull this over so you can see. I didn't have it on camera, but I went and got it out of the refrigerator. In here are my pickled cauliflower. So, like my mini cucumbers, I leave these in their raw form, put it in here. I added my aromatics, I covered it to the top, let it come to room temperature, then sealed it and put it in the refrigerator. These are about 2 months old. Every time I either do a charcuterie board or friends come over, I always put a little bit of my pickles on the side. I put my pickled cucumbers. Sometimes I've done pickled green beans. I haven't done my pickled carrots in a while. I have pickled radishes. The sky's the limit. If you're growing a garden like my sister is, you're gonna have an abundance. We've pickled jalapenos, we've pickled banana peppers with this same pickling liquid. So again, I've been using it for about 10 years and I've customized it. You know, add a little more sugar, it was too sweet, took a bit away. I love the balance of the acidity with the sweetness. They just come out perfect to me. So I hope that you make these. And if and when you do, make sure you come back, comment, tell me how they came out. If you made any modifications, please feel free to do so. Make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're batch filming today, so we're about to do the very next video in a few minutes. But thank you so much for watching. Share this out, and I look forward to seeing you all in another episode of During the Kitchen. Once again, let these come to room temperature before you seal them. That is my disclaimer. They must be completely cooled before you seal this beautiful jar. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.